The reason behind the hike in prices, despite the fact that the naira is gaining against the dollar from 1.9 to about 1,050. Some are saying it has gone below 1,050 to 900 to 1,000 to 1,1, depends on the market and the rest of them. But it's of a fact that there's been a reduction in price. It got so severe that some personnel shut down 4 supermarkets in Abuja for selling goods at exorbitant prices, and that, people are saying, served as a deterrent to some other market owners. They've been told to start tagging the goods. If you're dealing on bread or dealing with bread, you have to place the price tag so people get to know how you sell it. If you want to sell banana, the same thing also, you have to place the price tag. You're selling gari, rice, beans, whatever you're selling, it must be tagged so that you will not go beyond what you expected to sell. Now, that is a new trend. People are asking when it's going to get down to other states of the Federation, and how long will this last? Don't forget also the price of diesel, which has come down to 1,000 naira per liter. I want to talk about Dangote refinery. I think that is a plus, but like saying, yes, it is definitely a plus. With me here in the studio to talk about this, I have Barrister Emmanuel Obakolo, a political analyst, public affairs commentator, and of course, a human rights activist. Barrister Emmanuel, welcome to TMI Sunday's edition. I appreciate your coming.
It's a pretty day. Good morning, Nigerians.
Okay. And of course, very close to him is another legal practitioner. Join me to welcome Barrister Greg Odaze. Hope I got that name.
Very well. Yes. Good morning, my viewers.
All right, it is a human rights.
I'm grateful for your invitation.
All right, thank you, Barrister. He's a human rights activist, public affairs commentator, and of course, a legal practitioner. Now, all the way from Germany, we have a very vibrant youth. He's a convener, Youth O'Clock, and of course, he's the president right now of a diaspora. Yes, youths in diaspora. Germany to welcome Mayor Benjamin, all the way from Germany. Mayor, good morning. It's a pleasure to have you join us this morning, all the way from Germany.
Mr. Wilson, thank you for having me.
All right. So we're going to start off with Barrister Emmanuel Obakolo. Prices are skyrocketing, and the government of the day is disturbed about it. For the first time in a long time, FCCPC were asked to take charge. Go ahead, find a solution to this, punish those culpable, do all you need to do to make sure that the prices in the market reflects the strength of the naira against the dollar. What is really going on, Barrister Emmanuel?
I will say thank you very much. It's unfortunate that today in Nigeria, most of us don't want to do the right thing, but instead we do what we like. We don't do the right thing, but we do what we like. And even the agency responsible for regulation of prices just now, I see the activity as an exercise in futility. It won't go anywhere. For the fact that the news making the rounds is that they'll be able to shut down some supermarkets. I do not want to believe the activities just now because they've succeeded in putting down some supermarkets. The prices of goods and services is determined by those who are in the business. Take, for instance, in Edo State, every commodity that you have in the market, there is a union. And that is one of the problems we do have in Edo State. Union determine the price of goods. I have this privilege of a woman, I don't want to mention the market, who choose to sell her own price of goods lower than the fixed price of that union. And if you see the way they were victimizing her in the market, I went to court. But before you know, they were threatening her that if she does not ask Allah to withdraw and let them settle the matter amicably, that she will not have peace in that market. She has to. Today, you go to the bush markets, the markets in the village, How much are the prices? Will this agency go to the village to begin to ask for the prices of goods? The answer is a no. Then transportation. Look, this razzmatazz, this fairy tale of the dollar going down, the naira rising, the naira appreciating, the question is for how long? So I see it more as a drama, but those in power wouldn't agree with me because they are looking for every legitimate means to convince or confuse or both on Nigerians. And unfortunately, Nigerians don't like themselves. Not the issue, even the issue of love, is the issue of likeness now. We don't like ourselves. We take advantage of every slight opportunity to make money because the demigod that is worshipped today in this country is money. So in a situation where when you have money, people praise you, you would want to do everything it takes to make the money. The issue of morality has been jettisoned. And that is why today you see the government will begin to come up with agencies and they will go to the pages of the paper or to the media and begin to tell you we succeeded in bringing down one supermarket. The issue is not even the supermarket. It's not everybody that goes to the supermarket. Every Nigerian today cannot go to the supermarket. It's not just possible.
All right.
The market, the regular market, what is happening there?
Okay.
So if the agency choose to be running to the supermarket, it's an exercise in futility.
All right, I'll come back to you, Barrister Emmanuel Obakpolo. Barrister Greg, you heard them and said this fight might not just see the light of day, despite the fact that they started well. And of course, talked about the unions in the market manipulating the prices of commodities, despite the fact that the naira is going against the dollars. Things may just remain the same because of these unions and of course the greed of Nigerians. Take it up from there.
Yes, the issue is this, and over the years, the respective governments we had in this country till the present day, they have been sleeping over this issue of market. They neglected the market. As important as the market, they have neglected it. It's only for us to be seeing just a few days ago, we now see some officials of the government being proactive as to all these things. And meanwhile, the citizens already cultivated the wrong culture as to the attitude of the buyers and sellers. You see, the government have trivialized the issue of regulating the market over the years. They have been sleeping over the market. When you talk of the market, you are talking about the interaction between the forces of demand and supply. And the major regulator of the market, you are talking about the prices. And the government have not been doing anything as to regulating the price of goods and services in this country. Hence, the individual are taking on due advantage of it to exploit the citizens. So that is why it is very difficult for the government. The move, although it's a smart one, but I think the government, they are flogging a dead horse. A dead horse? Very well, from all indications. Because the citizens, the people out there in the market, they are already having this culture of exploiting, selling at an exorbitant because the government are not regulating the market. That is the problem. So what is going on in Abuja and all of that, I don't see that. I don't see anything good coming out of it. So it's a behavioral thing. Nigeria have already imbibed a culture of exploiting because over the years there is no regulation. So that is the problem we are facing in this country. Why would the government neglect the market? Why would the government not create agency or committees before now to regulate all these essential commodities in the market. They left it for capitalists. The object of a capitalist is to make profit. They are profiting. Even while the citizens are dying, they will not show, because a capitalist at all times is to exploit and exploit the citizen for his own selfish interest. So you see, if you go out there in the market, you see what the rates, the exorbitant rate people are selling, because the government is not concerned. You cannot even arrest them.
All right.
That is the problem.
You can't even arrest them. Okay, now, Benjamin, I believe you've been listening to them, and I know also you are totally aware of the FCCPC and their activities in Nigeria. But we're talking about regulating prices of commodities, the tax ahead of them. Over there in diaspora, is the government involved in price regulation? Over now to you, Benjamin.
Hey, everybody, thank you for having me once again. I'll speak loud and clear. A very important topic that we're going to be having today that has to do with the essential commodity in the market. If where I'm residing, if government controls the prices of commodity in the market, 100% is 100% true. But they don't set up committees. Committees will be funded with public funds that they will not go and siphon the public funds for their own personal pocket, just for creating offices, loyalists, for them to become useful in the country. That is not how it is done over here. The federal, the FCCPC is something that you find in every country. The ones that are experienced here in Europe, it's not something that you go to the market, things are being sold from different prices at an exorbitant way. Just give a hint how it is being done. Like those are set groceries. We go to shop like Aldi, Lidl, Rive, and Nettos and all that. Those prices are similar. If they are too much, if there is any differences, it's not going to be more than 20 to 50 cents. And if it's even more than that, there is a reason for it. How it's being done? There is a website, there is a government portal, a government internet portal, where these particular retail and wholesale shops plug in their products. And that is where government monitors everything. And there is also a law in this country, products that are not produced in the country, and once it imported into the country before it gets to consumer, the company that reside here in the country are allowed to add not less than 7.5% to every product. That 7.5 includes the worker's salary, payment of building, the current expenditure, and the rest of that. So when you go to this website, according the government people go to this website, they see those prices where, let me say, the market in Oregbeni and the market in Ring Road, if they have shops there. So they will plug in the product, how much a bag of rice is being sold in different shops. So if the prices are too much, people will be apprehended, and that shop will be shut down. You see a case where those government offices and these agencies are shutting down shops today, you will be thinking that to arrest a terrorist or a criminal. Shut it down totally, to be fed up with police to enforce the law, to bring in law and order. All those things are normal everywhere. But the ones in Nigeria, you're going to ask yourself a question. Are these committees being set up to actually do their job? They are being set up like a compensation. They work for the current administration in the last election. Or they are just being set up to help the common man in the society to have access to these essential commodities. All these questions need to come up. If we are able to have answers to these questions, then we'll know where we're heading to. I am in Nigeria. and I will continue to say, if you want Nigerian to work, it needs to be digitalized. If you want Nigerian to work, the law enforcement agency, the free hand, the free will to carry out their activities and to discharge their lawful duties that is being enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution. You said they have been given an order. It sounds awkward and it sounds like waking up a sleeping organization. Because this organization wasn't created yesterday under this administration. It has been there, been allocated to this department for a very long time. What have they been doing inside? You also need to ask yourself, they said dollar is depreciating in Nigeria, which I look at 3 to 4 days ago. The stubborn dollar is fighting back. The weak naira is giving up his strength. So you now begin to ask me, my grandmother who is selling akpu or fufu in the market, to produce akpu, the answer is typically no. Not having one way or the other influence over it, like transporting those goods to the market and all that, that is where they come in. But most of those things are produced locally, imported, so dollar is not needed. Product that we consume every day, like the normal food stuff that we eat, the yam, the carbohydrate, the rice, and all those things are being produced locally in Nigeria. No reason why their prices will be exorbitant. What the poor, let me not use the word poor, the average masses can afford. Nigerians are not craving to have, Nigerians are not craving, 60% of Nigerians are not craving to have mansions and big cars. They just want to have a normal life. They just want to feed their family 3 square meals a day, to have a house, a home, all the essential commodities and what is needed to have a life, like energy and the rest of it.
All right, I'll come back to you, Benjamin.
This is what Nigerians are asking.
All right, I'll come back to you, Benjamin. Well, you heard him, Barrister. He spoke at length. He said if there's a shutdown of any shop because of infraction, it would be as if they are like attacking the tourists. You're going to see the police, everything coming out there, showing up because there is an infraction in prices. It's all about a website where everyone plugs their price into for the government to regulate it. They don't need to go and just go decide everything. They get to know, they get to see. It's all about locally produced food that they don't even need the dollars to, like, you know, ship these things to the market. After all, it's locally provided, it's locally produced. So what is the essence? Please take it up from there from his own point of view.
Listen, I don't think Nigeria is ripe for any form of digitalization for now, particularly with respect to the price of goods and services. The germane issue that affects prices of goods and services, one, is government policy. Now, if you go to the ring road just now, you will see a class or a gang of youths on different uniforms taking task from these women, men and women, these marketers, tax. You see multiple taxing. You hear local governments, you hear street, you hear state, and in some cases, federal, when it is connected with FIRS and others. So by the time the marketers begin to pay multiple tax for goods and services, what do you anticipate from them? So the government itself is only pretending on the face of the paper to be doing something with respect to price of goods and services. Just like the last speaker said, the cassava we grow here, what connection has the cassava with the dollar? The cassava does not have any connection with the dollar, save for the fact that the government exports cassava, and that will be to the advantage of the government or those who are involved in such exportation. But with our own homegrown goods, the tax are just too much. Few days ago, I was coming very close to Uniben there. I saw a gang of youths. This vehicle was loaded with plantain and other things, and they were insisting on a particular amount for the driver to pay before they can let him go to the market. And the man did pay them that money. And you think the traders will not now put that in the prices of their goods? So government policy is another question. The government is only pretending, telling us, oh, we have FCCPA or whatever group, they should go out, the agency is responsible with goods, prices of goods and services regulation. It's more than that. So when the government gives with the right hand and takes with the left hand, you too should anticipate that the traders will also give back to the consumers. So that is for that. The government on its part is not doing the right thing. We just now, like I did say, is not ripe for anything digitization. Yeah. We are not ripe for it. In a country where you can hardly see light, in a country where the next thing you will hear, no network, and you want to talk of going to digitalize the prices of goods and services, that will not work. That will bound to fail from the beginning. So we know that. Now, the government needs to sit up. Thank God, even the last speaker, I said it. I said, how long will the naira gain appreciation over the dollar? We all know the abracadabra that is going on there, except we are pretending not to know. It's just on the surface of it. But I do not think the naira is strong enough to achieve that purpose, except the right thing is done. Now, when you talk of the capitalists, the likes of Dangote, now every person seems to be celebrating that, oh, the price of diesel is 1 liter is 1,000 naira. Before this government, before the administration of this government, how much was the price of diesel? Nobody is asking that question. The issue that connects all of this situation we are going through today in Nigeria is when the president declared with the wave of hand, subsidy gone. For goodness sake, wheat is subsidized in Europe. Does the government in Nigeria here subsidize wheat? Everything in Nigeria is tied to oil. And that is why when oil goes up, every other goods and services appear to be going up too. The government have told us about we have palliatives to give to Nigeria. Where is the palliatives? A government that could not plan first for palliative before doing what they did, and you are not thinking there is going to be magic. So government policy is something that I think the government needs to sit down and begin to reconsider what policy it tries to execute. All right. Because the execution of their policy will affect the prices of goods and services.
So I'll come back to you, Barrister. I talked about government policies, Barrister Greg.
Yes.
He said government policies will go along. But take a look at the administration. They've been doing all their best. According to them, they reduced taxes in some aspects. And right now, the complaint of the traders normally was that there is a hike in fuel. One complaint. 2, hike in the price of diesel. Second complaint. And 3, which made everything to even get as high as over 100% dollar-naira differentials. Right now it has reduced. What is the excuse? Because it's because dollar is going up, it's going up, price must go up. That was the hook then. But now it has fallen to an appreciable extent, so to speak. So why has price is not fallen? Because that used to be the excuse of our traders. Take it up from there, Barrister.
Yes, we also appreciate the fact that the dollar is falling, and that will also makes our own naira to appreciate. But the issue is this: the sellers in the market, or the producers, wholesalers, or retailers, as the case may be, looking at the chain of distribution of goods and services out there in the market, So the issue is this. Nothing just happened without a cause. So we are, like my learning colleague, have identified the issue of government policies. For example, double taxation is one of the reasons. Because these people have a reason, justification for the exorbitant prices for the commodity they sell to consumers.
But remember, don't forget what is behind this increment. There was like targets on dollars.
We are going there. We are going there.
Excuse.
We are going there. The excuse, we are going there. That is a behavioral aspect. We'll go there. You see, but however, these people have something to hide under. That what is the when you are talking about, oh, there's a reduction in the when you are talking about the dollar is falling to what extent? Go and see how much is fear being sold today. You see transportation. You see to convey your product.
Barrister, it's like you're not getting
I'm
this.
getting it. Well,
hold on.
Is it at why?
Hold on.
Is it at why? I'm on my feet.
I know.
Allow me to.
Sorry for interjecting, but fuel prices were still where it was until that started increasing. Don't forget, 680, 690. We knew that so well. They didn't talk about that. They're talking on the dollar. Dollar is going up. Price after increase. That was a song.
Listen,
And
in
let
me pick it from that direction.
Yes.
But I wanted to be holistic on the whole issue. But however, you see, it still boils down to the government character in this country. You see, over the year, like I pointed out, the government have neglected. The government have never regulated the market. So, what we have is a cannibalistic society. A place where man eats man. People, you go to a market, people, they will tell you that this is how they bought the goods. That is wicked. Even we know that some of these people, they are wicked. But there's nothing you can do about it because the government have not been showing concern. They are not be proactive, no committee. Even now, it's even strange for to some of the sellers in the market to say that, oh, the government is trying to, they want to control how much they are selling their goods because it's they have never, it just, when a child was born, when you are, as a child, they say, as a child, you were born a tabula rasa. That is to say, you know nothing. Because these people, there was never a time the government has stepped into this issue. To them, whatever amount they are selling, they are right. That is the problem. The government has never taken time to set up a committee in the local market and the multinational market. Nothing has happened. Now they don't have an excuse. So that is the reason why you see that the government is having a problem that giving the fund in dollars. The government would have expected also that there's a fall in the price of goods, but that's not what they are seeing. That is the reason why they have to take this step they are taking.
Oh,
so that is the issue.
That's the issue.
That is the issue.
All right, now, Benjamin, if you can hear me, you get to realize that from what we agreed to, Barrister Emmanuel talked about government policy. And of course, I threw a question towards Barrister Greg because the song was the dollar is increasing, the dollar increasing. Don't forget that we know about the hike in fuel prices. Okay, that wasn't the issue then. First, we're talking about the dollars. Right now that the naira has appreciated, how come they are not following suit by reducing the prices of goods and commodities? Like you rightly said, you said locally produced goods do not have connection directly with the dollar or the naira disparity. Please take it up from there.
It's very clear it's very clear that the problem of commodity prices in Nigeria is an issue that needs to be discussed by the government on how to handle it. The government has been failing on every side, especially when it comes to these commodity issue, price of commodity issues. I would also like to make a reference to the diesel and the price pump you just made mention of. The way they set the prices of pump price here is very easy. The filling stations that are inside the city be more expensive, maybe like 25 cents or 20 cents. The reason being that get the product to the inside the city, they also pay a higher tax for it because of the environmental pollutions and the rest of it. So if you want to get that same price, that same pump price cheaper, you can drive out of the city by 5 cents lesser, lower. Why is it like that? Because these companies are located, these filling stations are located outside the city. They don't pay the complete taxes.
He was talking about the disparity in prices, so to speak. You're talking about also government prices, adding one or two things to make sure that there is this balance. All right, because the issue used to be dollar, dollar, dollar. And now you talked about a child being an open space, or a slit, to speak. Whatever you impute into that child, that's what he gives to you, either in multiple fashion. But why wouldn't our own people use their initiative to do the right thing? Would that be an activation, so to speak, of the FCCPC if things are done correctly? Please take it up from there.
Well, see, if you listen to me clearly from the outset, I did say that it is not a norm where we don't do what is right. Instead, we do what we like. In a society where you have people who do what they like and not what is right, what do you get? Now, if I get him clear, he said that the fuel in Europe, particularly where he is cheaper in the local areas than in the city. And here the reverse is the case. I bought a liter of fuel in a village for 800 naira a liter. And I asked the question, why is it sold for 800 naira here? They said, the time they take to go and buy it in the city, that is one. Two, as they are conveying it to the locals or locality, that they have men who take tax from there, from the local government.
All right, I think Benjamin Rightman is back. Benjamin, if you continue with the point you were given about, let's say, the disparity in prices in pump price.
Like what I was saying, the filling station you find within the city sell with nothing less than, let me say, less than 0.5%. Maybe if they are selling at €1.50 outside the city. Inside the city, you can see that they are selling at €1.55 and €1.59. Why is it like that? Because these companies these filling stations are located inside the city. They pay more taxes than the one outside the city. All those things are done. So it's okay, tomorrow I'm going to work. I don't want to buy my fuel inside the city while I'm driving outside the city. I can buy along the road, which is the same thing. Government are controlling those things. So if somebody tells you that those things cannot be controlled, like Owando is selling something different and NNPC station at the Sapele level is selling something different, the law enforcement agents come say, ask yourself the same question like I keep saying. That own this filling station, who are they? They are in government. They the price themselves. They are like kings and queens. They control, they set the price, they just say, this is how I want to sell it and this is how they sell it. That's the reason why you see that these companies and this particular sector is booming. It has nothing to do with dollar increasing, dollar not increasing. Why is it like that? Because these prices are being controlled by themselves. Most of those fuel and benzene is being imported back to the country after being produced, which is understandable. But that will not stop the government of controlling the price. I know subsidy were removed last year when Tinubu came into power. That also have a very standing impact on most of these products we're having today. But I think the government need to first of all be truthful to themselves, be transparent. Are we actually really want to do this thing to make the common man feel better outside? We can control these things from here. In a situation where any company or any dealer or any shop complying with the government prices, though there is no law that says they should control it directly, but enforcement agencies are mandated to swing into action and carry out those here, pass the law to make sure these shops have been shut down. By the time you use one, second one as an example, every other one will follow suit. Price control in the market is very, very essential for a society to keep moving on and to keep law and order. This is my own opinion, that the government, first of all, need to be truthful to themselves, because dollar has no impact in selling fufu in the market. Dollar has no impact on selling gari and all that. The price of diesel you talk about that was reduced, that I saw in the news that it has been crashed 2 or 3 days ago, all those things are normal, it can be crashed. But you know how much is a bag of cement before Tinubu came into power, before they removed the subsidy? So those things, you now begin to look around it. The price of cement still remains the same, around like 8,000 to 8,000 something. It depends on the area where you're buying it. The product, when a producer has the monopoly of it, he is the one they are producing it, they set the price. So if you don't buy, you leave it. That's how Nigerians are living. Nigerians go to the market, they want to buy a bowl of gari, and they tell you the bowl of gari is 2,000. The woman said, if you don't buy, you leave it, because she knows that if you do not buy from her, somebody else will come and buy. Nobody is interested in the price. Nobody is agitating about the price. People just want to get it and survive. Government to tell you we are giving palliative. I think that of billions of public funds to House of Rep and Senate to do a palliative in their constituency. I think by controlling the price in the market, the price of product will go a very long way in saving the price in the market, and let the naira be in a stable manner, which I know it is not going to be. It's going to be very hard because of the people and the forces behind it.
All right. Thank you so much, Benjamin. Well, you heard him. He's still having doubts about the strength of the naira. But he talked about shutting down these errant marketers and, of course, traders. Do you think FCC, PC should go to the market right now? It's got that his shop is selling beyond what it ought to sell. Maybe rice, beans, gari. That shop should be shut down. If you shut down the first one, the second one, the third one, that might just take out to the union that are no longer in charge. The government right now is on top of the situation. Would that work? Barrister Emmanuel.
You know it won't work. Listen, you know it won't work. I know it won't work. My colleague, Leonard Frey here, knows it won't work. See, the government is only pretending. The government wants to paint a rainbow-like system where the more you look, the less you see. And that is what the government has achieved in doing. Look, the poverty you see in the land today is a deliberate one. The government is using the instrumentality of poverty to rule Nigerians. And that's why when you see, by the time a governor comes to power or a government emerges, even the heads of the unions are their stooges. They appoint their boys. They appoint their guests. At the local government level, the persons who go around to take tax or taxes are their boys and guests. Is that not what we see? Then at the state level, the same thing. It's a reflection of what happens at the local government. At the federal, you see same. Even some agencies will even take tax and deliberately refuse to remit same to government coffers. Instead, it goes to the pocket of private individuals. And that is what we see. And these persons are, quote and unquote now, are their boys and girls, a form of compensation. Oh, you worked during the elections. You were a superstar during the election for my re-election or for my election, for me to emerge, to be in power. That is what we see. And now you want to visit the scenes of those in government or the marketers, the traders, where you have the bigger boys who sponsor those in government, and the government now make policies to pave way for them to be strong capitalists who are now feasting on Nigerians. See, we have pretended a lot in this enough in this country, and if we keep pretending, things will go worse. And that is why you see when somebody comes and says, oh, there is an agency or a committee or an institution called FCC. How many Nigerians know that institution was existing before now? How many Nigerians? So these are some of the problems. The National Orientation Agency, what is their job? Are they not supposed to give Nigerians proper orientation with respect to the existence of agencies like this? Why are they silent? So, who are the determinants of the prices of goods and services in Nigeria? In economy, you say demand and supply. But in Nigeria, it's private individuals that are the determinants. And now the government wants to pretend so that they will give us a different coloration that this is what is really happening. Whereas they know that absolutely nothing is happening. But if anything is pretending to be happening, it's only for their good. Is that not what we see? So, the purported regulation of goods and services will not work. It will stand the test of time. The reason being that those in government are the ones doing all of these razzmatazz.
All right. Well, Barrister Greg, you heard him. He said it to no work. You will not see FCC, PC going to the market to shut down the first shop, like what they did in Abuja, the second shop and the third shop, for things to be normal. Why did they choose to do it? Will it work? Bryce Emmanuel said it's not going to work because these same persons are in government. Take it up from there.
We have to be very, very optimistic about the future of this country. Although it's very painful that at this stage, even when we are talking about increase in the price of commodities, and again, some of these products, when you buy it, you don't even gain, even though it's expensive, but it's not commensurate with even the money. It's not commensurate. You look at it from that angle. We are even complaining that the prices are exorbitant. That is, sometimes you can even, but the value of these commodities is even poor, is substandard, and they are not. The government is not doing about it. People selling expired goods to citizens, and the government is silent about it. So, I don't know where we lost it in this country. That is the problem we are having. The whole essence of government. The essence of governance is to protect and provide for the citizens. That's what we are saying. We are not supposed to help ourselves in any ways. That's why we have a government. We are not to help ourselves. The government is to provide a platform which every citizen can enjoy. But we are not seeing it in this country. Over the years, no committees. It's not that we are not clapping for them. They are not working. It's not they are coming up because of the Nazi that is getting out of hand. That's why the government is now trying to rise to the challenges. But we don't know. At the end of the day, you see these people you are seeing and they will abandon their jobs. You will not see them again. Ordinarily, there would have been a standing committees from time to time, from the local government, state government, and federal government to checkmate all these prices. That is it. That is the only way out.
That's the only way out.
Yes.
And the FCCPC, do you think they're up to the task right now?
Well,
because in Abuja they are working, in Nasarawa they are working to the extent that the price of rice has reduced.
We should be optimistic.
We should be optimistic. I've said it. We commend them.
All right.
We also appreciate them.
Okay.
They should intensify effort. They should even come to Edo State. We want to see them.
In Edo State?
Yes, well, the citizens they are crying. The price of goods even in Edo State is even astronomical. That's what we need them.
They done here.
Yes.
All right, Benjamin, what advice do you have for the government of the day and, of course, FCCPC in order for them to really tackle this menace of undue increments in prices? Because I call it undue, according to Twitter, it's went up because of dollar-naira exchange. Right now, the naira is gaining, but still the traders refuse to revert to old prices. What advice do you have for the government of the day?
Just advise that the government, first of all, put up a plan, a strategic plan that will last for a very long time, not just going to the market to shut down and after like 1 hour they have left and that market will open again, they will start selling the same thing. First of all, they need to go digital and they also need to sensitize the general public. Tell Nigerians, this is the amount of this price is being sold. If it's not being sold like that, you have every right to do a civilian arrest. I don't know that one's going to cause a little bit chaos, but they need to put up a system where every Nigerian will go to know how much these prices, how much are those products are being sold. You cannot just go any shop and shut any shop down without giving that shop to tell you how much is a bag of rice, how much is a bag of beans. So the civilian and the Nigerian populace also need to be aware, need to be educated on the importance of reporting the price hike in commodities to the appropriate channel, and the security agencies also need to do their job, need to be up and doing with the FCCPC to also come up with a plan on how to enforce those laws. But first of all, in my village, they say once you don't make law, has a right to disobey the law. Made this law, but you also need to put up a channel where the Nigerian people need to know how much is the cost of a product before they can go to market and make without a negotiation to say this is how much this product is being sold. So if you're not selling it like that, I'm going to call the police, I'm going to call the appropriate organization that is responsible for it. I will advise, let the government go digital and make everything for people to control instead of going to the market and shutting market down.
All right, thank you so much, Benjamin. Thank you so much, Barrister Emmanuel. Thank you so much, Barrister Greg. You've spoken at length, you've spoken greatly. You said the government should really make sure that things start working. Some of the people know that what we need in this country is a civilian with the heart of a military man. That sometimes in Nigeria, for things to work, we need that force. We need that brute force. I mean, that is like the opinion of so many persons. You have to be a little bit brutal for things to work. If we can target the price of rice, target the price of beans, listen, target the price of tin, tomatoes, and of course bread, all other things will fall into place. Of course, Gary, these five major goods: rice, beans, Gary, bread, tomato. Just regulate these 5 things first. Others naturally will fall into place. Well, our beloved governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, definitely you are up there economically speaking. What is happening to our markets? It's never too late to form a committee. Pay a visit to these markets. Find out what is going on. Find out those errant traders, because the traders, they know what they are doing. They are just cashing in on this. If food market can be shut down in Abuja because of sharp practices due to a price hike, it can be done in Edo State, starting with Benin City. There are states who can follow suit. All other states can follow because it's affecting everyone. People are hungry. People are dying because they don't have food to eat. You can intervene. We can make the effort of the FCCPC to make sure that things go well in our country. Sometimes a little force, just a little push is needed. Who will bear the cart in this regard?